Well, well, well. If you wanted some fights in My Hero Academia, you're about to get some. Guys, summer is here. What's up? It's Truth Hero, and welcome back to another very hot My Hero Academia chapter review. Boku no Hero Academia chapter 273 of the manga. It's a very short chapter in terms of dialogue, but I think it's a very good chapter because it sets up a lot of fights in the future of My Hero Academia. So we'll discuss everything from the heroes still currently fleeing Shigaraki's decay wave, to Shigaraki summoning Gigantomachia, and of course Endeavor, the #1 hero, charging in to face him. Let's dive in. The chapter starts with Deku doing what he can to stop Shigaraki's decay wave, and like most people's quirks, I don't think it's helping. Uraraka and Tsuyu-chan note that it's not stopping. This is not just a shockwave or cracks from an impact far away. Everything's still turning to dust, and it's growing and it's expanding. How do we stop this? And I'm wondering here if Horikoshi is actually going to let one of these students in Class 1A, or maybe Class 1B that's on the hero's side in the mansion, die. Now, I don't know if this is the case. It would definitely heighten the consequences of this arc tenfold, but I'm not sure Horikoshi would go that far. What do you guys think though? Will a student in Class 1A actually bite the literal dust? Deku thinks back to when Shigaraki grabbed his neck at the mall. He knows that it would take less than a minute for Shigaraki to completely decay him if you put all 5 fingers on his neck. He knows that something is up, that Shigaraki is now insanely more powerful than before. Entire buildings are now vanishing within seconds. Also, don't forget that Shigaraki was very adamant when he told Deku, "The next time I meet you, I'm going to kill you." So, if at some point in this arc, Deku and Shigaraki do meet on the battlefield, we're going to be in for an insane fight. Or maybe not, maybe it will end very quickly, because Shigaraki is quite powerful. Endeavor's sidekick Burnin says, "Everyone, get back," and then she radios, "Hey, what's going on the hospital side? Anyone? Reply." This is going to look great animated because the manga can't really capture this with Shoto and Nejire and other students of Class 1A and even heroes that are near her, but there's this moment of sheer panic because for all they know, and for all Burning knows, Endeavor is gone and every hero that was at the hospital is now dead. They have no way of knowing this. As we learn later in the chapter, you can't exactly see the hospital. It's 80 kilometers away. So this is going to be a great moment and really one of terror when the heroes realize that they're completely isolated and on their own. There are 2 people in particular that are very worried here, Shoto and Nejire, and there's this very nice parallel with them where they're both worried about their hero mentor or their teacher that's helped them in the internships. Nejire is of course looking out for Ryuku, the dragon hero, and Shoto is worrying about Endeavor, his internship teacher, and also his father. This also provides more context for Shoto and Endeavor's relationship. If Endeavor comes out of this alive, Shoto will again be more thankful, and we'll see him moving towards forgiveness more. That's if Endeavor comes out alive. It ain't guaranteed. We'll talk about this more in a bit, but as we see at the end of the chapter, Endeavor with his flames flies and leaps into battle against the Prince of Darkness, and I'm very interested to see how he'll actually take on Shigaraki. We then move to the second part of this chapter, and we see Shigaraki standing on a plateau overlooking his beautiful work, which is death and destruction. There's some hospital equipment left beside him, but really this is a beautiful image. It gave me Lion King vibes, and it really sets up Shigaraki as a king of destruction. There's not a lot that he says here and that happens in this section of the chapter, but there's some huge implications for what he does say and what is beside him, so we're going to break that all down. Shigaraki opens a machine beside him what looks to contain either small quirk capsules or the quirk nullifying bullets, and I'm going with the latter. He laments, they're pretty much ruined now, and after all that effort of trying to mass produce them, it must have been hard on Overhaul as well. This is obviously him acknowledging that he feels Overhaul's frustration and pain when he took these bullets from him. The interesting thing is though, how did Shigaraki and crew mass produce these bullets? If you remember, it clearly states that Twice was unable to mass produce or duplicate the bullets because he couldn't understand the chemical makeup or how Aries' quirk worked within the bullet. So perhaps Dr. Ujiko with his technology was able to figure it out? Even though these set of bullets have lost their integrity due to Shigaraki decaying everything, I don't think we can rule out the possibility that the League of Villains still may have the ability to nullify quirks with these bullets. It's possible that the original set that they stole from Overhaul is with people at the mansion, so who knows? The heroes still need to watch out for this possibility. Next, Shigaraki hops on that phone and tells Machia to bring everyone to him, and says, "Starting here and now, I'll be destroying it all." What exactly is Shigaraki's plan to destroy it all? I mean, we all figure at some point that he wants to kill All Might, so perhaps right now he just wants to destroy all the heroes and deal a huge blow to Hero Society, and then maybe later on physically destroy Japan? I'm not sure. Shigaraki also says that he's not in the best situation, and he's called Machia over to him, so maybe him, Machia, and the League of Villains will wreak havoc on the heroes and then go into hiding and formulate a plan to create their new world. Not that they really need to hide, but comment down below, how will Shigaraki destroy it all? And not just by touching the ground, but really, what is Shigaraki's ultimate endgame? We then turn to the third part of this chapter and flash towards the mansion, which is a lot farther from Jaku Hospital than I realized. It's 80 kilometers. It's likely the heroes here fighting the villains really won't have to worry about them for very much longer, or at least not the strong ones, because Gigantomachia is going towards Shigaraki, and he's bringing the lieutenants of this new villain organization, which is Dabi, Toga, Mr. Compress, with him. So it's likely that they'll get a reprieve while everyone else near Shigaraki is about to be in a lot more danger. Mountain Lady gets her bootyful revenge on Gaten and punches him as the heroes advance through the ice, and we get this amazing part from Toga, where she transforms into the hero that tried to apprehend her in Twice and kills the heroes from within. Luckily, no one major dies here. I predicted Toga was going to do this at some point, and I even thought she might do it with Twice and be able to spread out and do it on a massive scale. Regardless though, to me, this fight wouldn't have been complete without some deception from Toga and confusion among the heroes' ranks. Also, at this point, Toga has lost it, and I love it. We get this nice parallel here because we always knew Toga was crazy, but Twice was the one that was always mentally split. Now that he's gone though, Toga, arguably his best friend, and perhaps even more, is lost without him. She's coming apart at the seams. She is unraveling. I mean, she is in total disbelief. Look, crazy may be crazy, but sometimes crazy pairs very well with other crazy. Gang Orca appears to have confronted Toga as she's transforming back, but fat chance of catching her. Just as he arrives, a huge hand pops out of the ground. Dang, Gigantomachia, you been juicing? You been hitting the gym lately? So I'm sure he'll scoop Toga up and the rest of the League of Villains and make his way to Shigaraki. I also wonder, how fast can Machia cover 80 kilometers? Lastly, we see Endeavor. He's fine, Shoto, for now, using his flames to fly at Shigaraki, and Shigaraki says, "Ah, as soon as I wake up, the #1 hero is here." Before we say anything more and I give my predictions, what do you predict to happen? What will happen between Shigaraki and Endeavor? Comment down below. As for me, I always saw Endeavor taking on Dabi and this battle revealing Dabi's past as Toyo Todoroki, and maybe Shoto would be somewhere close by to have this revelation. I don't think Dabi can necessarily beat Endeavor, but the point is the family conflict would finally reveal his identity. Maybe Endeavor even gets hurt and Shoto faces his brother. Now, I'm not so sure. Shigaraki definitely has the ability to take on Endeavor, and if you look at this fight from a pure strategy point of view, Endeavor basically has to stay levitated the entire time, otherwise he risks being decayed along with the ground. Also, we haven't seen it yet, but we all assume that Shigaraki has some new quirks that could potentially deal with Endeavor's long-range attacks. And keep in mind, this is all coupled with the fact that Gigantomachia is on his way to Shigaraki, and he'll bring the League of Villain members eventually. I also don't know if Endeavor can actually beat Shigaraki here, and there's a possibility that he loses this fight or is taken out of the battle somehow, which would obviously provide some nice story for Shoto and Dabi, who's about to arrive on the scene. What I see happening here more is that Endeavor was the last of the heroes escaping out of the hospital, but due to his speed he arrived here first, and I think eventually the heroes will come and back him up against the League of Villains, and of course on Shigaraki's side, Gigantomachia is coming, and he's bringing the villains with him, so we get this sort of war between the heroes and the villains, and both sides are pretty stacked. This would also set up Dabi vs Endeavor, and then maybe Ryuku vs Gigantomachia, and Present Mike vs Shigaraki, or some other pro hero that's with them. Again, I not only don't see Present Mike or any other pro hero being able to handle themselves against Shigaraki, but with Gigantomachia, I think the villains are just unbeatable. It's very clear that this chapter is just setting up battles, and perhaps for the first few minutes, Endeavor does get the best of Shigaraki until Gigantomachia shows up. Also, by that time, Shoto, Bakugo, and Deku will also show up, so maybe we do have Deku vs Shigaraki. And that would be pretty interesting because I don't know if My Hero Academia is going to end soon, but it seems like if we're getting this conflict now, that might be in the works. Anyway guys, it's way too hot to say anything more. Let's continue this discussion down below in the comments. Comment what you think's going to happen. Who will face who? Will it be Shigaraki vs Endeavor? Will Deku show up to take on the Prince of Darkness? Let me know your theories. If you guys like My Hero Academia content and these chapter reviews, consider enrolling at UA today by subscribing. And until next time, plus ultra.